Hello everyone and welcome to a new episode of CEO Talks. Today we're diving into the world of Bitcoin mining, how it's evolving, where the opportunities are and what it takes to build a trusted and sustainable operation in this fast-moving space. And to walk us through this journey, I'm joined by the CEO of the mining grid, Rami Alsiridi. Rami, thank you for joining us today in the studio.
Thank you for having me today.
So first, let's talk about the journey of the mining grid, how it started.
So the journey of mining grid started with a group of people like working in IT, and we wanted to do something which impact, people's life and make something easier. So we started since 2018 building multiple business models, related to blockchain and Web3, similar like to blockchain payment gateway, a crypto payment gateway, like exchanges, and some other tokenization for businesses, for real estate. So we tried multiple business models. Then we, in 2023, we decided to put all forces together and we started the journey of mining grid. We went to the market in 2023, and since two years and 2.5 years, we have made really great impact. So the journey is really long, but people see it in 2 years short success. But we see it, a lot of work done by group of professionals, in IT, in cybersecurity, and logistics. Put everything together, to reach this. So we are really proud of this journey, which is made by the team and the founders.
Of course. And how does the business model look like?
Yeah. So I start with Bitcoin, like concept in general. People like to call Bitcoin future money or digital gold, and because they cannot describe the potential of Bitcoin, so they try to use simpler terms. So for us, we discovered the potential of Bitcoin, and we said, okay, we want to build a business model of the company which copies the same way, the Bitcoin became popular from, having a zero market cap to $2 trillion today. So the business model for us is simple. We try to create a super app, like a non-custodial wallet, they call it in that term. And we create a SaaS model for the business where people subscribe yearly, to the application. And we also give a community-driven incentive. So people also, for building the community, they are getting incentivized, similar to concept of ecosystem of Bitcoin. So that three pillars together, make us really make a lot of growth and progress in these 2 years by creating the subscription model. Then people, they can simply select the package which suits them, and start from any person who cannot really put a saving, into a mining or into buying Bitcoin, and also for investor and corporate packages. That's all journey, we minimize it from weeks and months for people to assess, decide and invest and then manage. So we try to narrow that window from weeks and months to minutes. So that's fast access for the service, which is the key business model for mining grid.
What about the scale and where do you operate exactly?
Yeah, so the scale we look at it from both parts. So we offer the services to clients globally. So we have clients in Europe, we have in Middle East, and wherever you are in the world, you can access mining grids and you can start mining simply. So from operational point of view, we have head offices in UAE, and we have in Dubai and Abu Dhabi. We have also in multiple other locations. In terms of mining facilities, so we have mining facilities in USA, we have multiple states, we have also in Russia, and we have in some other countries, which is mining-friendly countries.
So this being said, now we talked about the story in simple terms. Let's go a bit technical. What's the current footprint for the mining grid in mining Bitcoin? Yeah,
so when we started, we wanted to make something tangible about our success. So we called the mining grid and mining grace, the application name, the fastest driven Bitcoin movement. And we try to catch, the promise of that name. So today we are almost aggregating 1.5% from total Bitcoin mining globally. And that number, we believe that we are the fastest company reach this. And it was not easy journey to reach that, but our contribution, we mined already around 2,000 Bitcoin, and every day we mine 1 to 1.5% from Bitcoin distributed to miners globally. And that's a huge impact on the industry and blockchain, and we focus also on distributing that rewards to people, not to concentrate it in institution or corporate. And that's a key thing, because you will see a lot of mining companies globally, they run their own self-mining, or they are actually mining and offering only institution and client. But Bitcoin is made for people, for distribution and decentralization. So our business model try to balance the ecosystem. So we try to focus to distribute more, to people, to make that balance and to boost the decentralization and security, sustainability of the blockchain Bitcoin network itself.
What's the importance of reputation and transparency in Bitcoin mining, and especially in the mining grid?
The Bitcoin mining itself is made for people, and when more people believe on it, the people become the world bank, and that belief is the core decentralization concept of Bitcoin, and any system doesn't really follow this decentralization and transparency, it cannot be growth, and it will not be beneficial to Bitcoin. So what we do, we share our wallet IDs, and we share the data transparently and through our dashboards. And we try to give people responsibility to hold their funds, similar how Bitcoin network work, through a decentralized non-custodial wallet where people take part of responsibility, but also as a corporate, we always keep an eye, we try to evolve in the cybersecurity, since most of the team comes from cybersecurity experience, so we try always to follow the best standards, how to secure the assets, customer assets and our assets, to keep the environment transparent and secure. And
we talked about the mining grid in specific, but if you want to talk in numbers worldwide, how does Bitcoin mining look like?
Bitcoin mining, I will tell you simply that Bitcoin is 21 million tokens, and so far, there is a lot of tokens, around 95% already mined. And the Bitcoin, when it started the mining, people, they could mine at home, by having a graphic card, without smart chip. And, they could use their laptop with the graphic card to mine Bitcoin. And before halving, because every 4 years, the Bitcoin, there is a halving term, which makes the reward distributed to miners half from the previous cycle. So people, they could make a block every 10 minutes, which gives them around $500,000. But when the adoption and scalability start growing, the mining also difficulty start growing with that. And we start seeing companies creating special mining devices, which call ASIC miners, with smart chip specifically only to mine Bitcoin. Then the competition starts more, to get that portion of Bitcoin. So then the mining evolved to be more and more like industrial product. You need to have the right equipment, you need to have the right partners. And this made a lot of people stop mining, at home or somewhere else, and they need to rely on mining partners or farms and operators. So that's the evolution of the industry. And what we see now, that also this trend continue. So in the past, since 2 years, when we started the soft launch of the company, the total number of hash rate, they call it connected to Bitcoin, which is measured the total power connected to the Bitcoin mining. So today is around 1,000, exahash. So from 250 to 1,000. So this is the indication that everyone believes, or the belief are becoming more common across corporate, across people of mining, and that's why we see that 4x growth in 2 years for the mining industry. It was really big.
But where do the MENA region and GCC countries stand in terms of Bitcoin mining?
Yeah, so we see some countries start regulating Bitcoin mining, and we see some region in GCC, specifically some countries, they started Bitcoin mining like few years back for self-mining, not for offering a business model and on the mining itself. And we see some key players, trying to grow that in this region. Mining in general requires multiple conditions. To select which country you want to mine, you need to look at electricity index, the cost. Then you need to look at operational costs. Then the weather conditions, because this miners generates a lot of heat, and you need really to have a better location. If you are using air-cooled miners, your cooler place, yes, for air-cooled miner. Then there is a new technologies which is immersion cooling, which could be used in other countries, or hydro cooling, which use water and electricity together, where we see it's more popular now in this region. So this region, they have a portion definitely of mining, but compared to the total power connected, still there is a way to accelerate that adoption and have more players, doing a Bitcoin mining farms or Bitcoin mining solutions.
So today we have 95% of total supply has already been mined. What does that mean for market dynamics?
That's the most common question we hear since we are in the domain. And, I always say that 95% of Bitcoin mined already at a mining price, is less in value from the remaining 5%. So the 5% remaining in the current Bitcoin price and the forecast of growth, the value of the 5% is higher than the value of 95%. So it's never too late. This is the first fact. The second fact is the remaining 1 million Bitcoin to be mined, half of it will be mined in the next 5 years. And half of it will take another 100 years. So always there is a right time, to enter a mining. And what I believe that this is a people decade era, to start Bitcoin mining. And, if they focus now or they start now, the block rewards, is still higher, and they can accumulate more Bitcoin in the next 4 or 5 years. But Bitcoin itself, it's a sustainable ecosystem by design.
Yes.
So always the Bitcoin mined value should be higher, than the energy index. We see the energy price grows, but always this is we call smart system correction. So always when the energy grows and the mining reward shrink, then the correction happen in Bitcoin price itself, which we see like every year cycle, which is popular term. Every year cycle the Bitcoin, let's say double its price or triple its price, because it adjusts to make the mining profitable, because mining is not only collecting Bitcoin, but
yes,
also it keeps the Bitcoin network running and it processes transaction in a decentralized way. So we do see that still the potential is high, and it's getting higher because the system is smart by design.
How does the outlook of Bitcoin mining profitability look like this year?
Yeah, so profitability of Bitcoin change every 10 minutes, based on difficulty. And it depends on multiple factors. As I mentioned, it depends on difficulty, the energy index, and it depends also on the Bitcoin price, and the total power connected, which impact the difficulty. So if you look at the history, Bitcoin mining has been profitable all the time in the past 15 years, except few months. When the Bitcoin price dropped heavily,
yes,
then the total power dropped, then it becomes more profitable.
Exactly.
So what we see, we have positive outlook of this year, and we think that it will be the 26 to 2030, it will be profitability of Bitcoin will be at good levels, or maybe increase with more adoption happening to Bitcoin network.
Thank you, Rami Alsiridi, and you are the CEO of the Mining Grid. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you. It's my pleasure.
And by this, we reach the end of our episode today of CEO Talks. Stay tuned for more conversations with global leaders.